saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping.
What can we possibly do about Elon Musk? Because it's not right.
It is not right. And this
man's choking on diet Mountain Dew. Yeah, this fella's finna apologize. Choking on diet Mountain Dew. Diet Mountain Dew. God.
guy bugs me in a way that is probably unhealthy, and but I have to be careful about being a smartass. I was making a joke. These people have no sense of humor. They are the most literal people. But my point was they're all mad, and I, said something I didn't, probably shouldn't have about a company. He is agreed. So
yeah, and his company backs your state, employs thousands and thousands of people in your state. The stock is funds your pension, sir. Yeah, so you have to apologize. Oh, these people can't take a joke. Clown. Choking on Diet Mountain Dew.
I make the case. They're all butthurt about the Tesla thing, but they don't care the disrespect they have shown to employees at the Minneapolis VA who care for our veterans, and they fire them. They don't care.
This clown.
So we will have the conversation about efficiency in government and about doing that, but none of us believe for a second they're thinking about this. Oh, we fired everybody that's dealing with Ebola. And then he went into the Oval Office wearing a hat. I don't ever want to hear anybody talk about decorum and respect or that. Wearing a hat, coming in there, richest man in the world. Again, this maybe is just me. If I'm the richest man in the world, I'm like out on the streets handing out the money. It'd be fun as hell just to help people out. Go help people out. Not this guy. Not.
And then he lies like, no, you're not, sir. You're not going to be handing money out, man. They want to try so hard to connect with the people. It's very cringy, man. It's a disgrace. And this is why the people saw through these lies and why you lost in a landslide. Yeah, you lost in a landslide. You're a loser, sir. Yeah. Let's get into this, man.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill our soldiers, we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Oh, buddy, we just keep winning. We just keep winning. What's going on, family? What's happening? Family, what's up now? How y'all doing? I hope y'all smiling. We just keep winning. People are breaking down, crying, losing, apologizing. Yeah, they retracting their words. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. You guys are right. I'm sorry. They got to cry and apologize, and I'm here for it. It's backfiring, But we got Tampon Timmy, Stolen Valor Tim, man, on the show today. God bless them beautiful patriots around the world, family. I hope everybody is doing well, that you are blessed, well, and healthy, and that 2025 is going well for you, your family, your friends, the kids, the strangers, the neighbors. Don't give a damn what your skin color is, where you're from, what you look like, what your age is. We all got to die. We all got to live in this corrupt scam matrix, and we voted exactly for what is taking place right now. He's doing exactly what he campaigned on. And right now we have a severe case of a mental illness. It is destroying minds. I'm telling you, it's bad. These activists, the radical left, they got Musk derangement syndrome, Trump derangement syndrome at strands we've never seen. But it's crazy, man. It's high. These levels are high, man. Stage 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. Some high stages, man. They got Tesla derangement syndrome, and this clown came out and forgot, what it actually means and how it actually helped his state and funds. It's just crazy, man, how people really forget, but they're so hateful and so deranged and out of touch and pathetic, you know. And then they got to come on and apologize, you know. Governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, Kamala Harris's VP, you know, seems to have realized his state of Minnesota holds Tesla stock in his God, come on, Rick, say it right now. We know you dropped out of school. Portfolio. Say it right, Rick. Say it right, sir. And now he says it was a joke and he wanted Tesla to the stock to tank. He says that it's just a joke. These people have no sense of humor. I was just making a joke, while he chokes on his Mountain Dew. Let's check it out, man. Let's get into this, though, y'all. You know, if you're new here, again, join the family. Hit that like button for your boy. We just did a video on Tim Walz yesterday after he threatened Elon Musk and Trump, and then was, you know, basically just these people are praying for the downfall of America. It's pathetic. It really is. I don't know how these. And I know you lost. We know you lost in a landslide. You know, you also your 20 million voters didn't show up this year. This election. You know, I wonder where they went. You know, people 300 years old voting. Illegals. You know. Yeah, criminals voting, huh? Yeah. Pathetic, man. No voter ID. Pathetic, I tell you. What a disgrace, man. What a disgrace.
This guy bugs me in a way that is probably unhealthy, and but I have to be careful about being a smartass. I was making a joke. These people have no sense of humor. They are the most literal people. But my point was they're all mad, and I, you know, said something I didn't, you know, probably shouldn't have about a company. He is agreed. So I make the case. They're all butthurt about the Tesla thing, but they don't care the disrespect they have shown to employees at the Minneapolis VA who care for our veterans, and they fire them. They don't care. So we will have the conversation about efficiency in government and about doing that, but none of us believe for a second they're thinking about this. Oh, we fired everybody that's dealing with Ebola. And then he went into the Oval Office wearing a hat. I don't ever want to hear anybody talk about decorum and respect or that. Wearing a hat, coming in there, richest man in the world. Again, this maybe is just me. If I'm the richest man in the world, I'm like out on the streets handing out the money. It'd be fun as hell just to help people out. Go help.
Yeah, he's again, man, with all the then just lies. And say, if I was the richest man in the world, I'd be handing out money. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't, man. You know, guy's pathetic, man. And saying that this is the Democratic Party and where it's at. Pathetic. Liars, frauds, people I need to be investigated, audited, and thrown in jail. A whole bunch of them. Governors, mayors, tons of these need to resign. They're running these places into the ground. You know, they put up this front. Like I said, these people that say they're not who they say they are, man, and they all come out to be a bunch of frauds and fakes. You know. Look at Tim Walz's daughter. I'm telling you, she was trending. This got over millions of hits. Tim Walz's daughter thinks people who don't want tampons in boys' bathrooms are fucking weird. Let's play this 30-second clip. We're getting off a little bit off topic, but hey, it's the Walz family.
This moral high ground that certain people have, and this like talk about protecting the children and keeping tampons out of boys' bathrooms, which tells me they didn't even read the bill, but that's a whole nother thing. Also, if you have a wife or like a daughter above the age of like 12, 13, ages vary, and you share a bathroom, you probably also have tampons in your bathroom. And the fact that they scare you and you're so obsessed with it is fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah. And y'all know she also had a meltdown over Trump's executive order banning men and women's sports. Yeah, that tells you everything you need to know right there. It's loser behavior. I've never felt so unsafe around a trans person. I have felt unsafe around men, so maybe let's deal with that. And again, she has another viral video. And again, this is why they lost. These are 90-10 issues that she is going viral on. And 90% of people oppose what she is saying. They don't agree with what she is saying. 90% of people. And you wonder why you're losing landslides. We spoke loud and clear for common sense. Common sense, man.
Is not protecting women. It's setting a dangerous precedent, and it is dangerous for the trans community, women, minorities, anyone who is not a straight white man. We are talking about human beings, and the president of the United States is targeting them just because he thinks it gains him political points or whatever. Because this thing that he's so worried about it's not real. It doesn't affect the people that he's trying to protect. It hurts them. Like, seriously, I think a lot of us need...
Because people don't want their daughters competing against men. Because we don't want our daughters getting knocked out by a man. Has she seen the results of this in tons of cases? Yeah. What's the situation that just happened not long ago? They're doing a track race, and the man beats all the women by like 20, 30 seconds. You know? Does she not know there's an unfair advantage? Biology? She not know that a man and a woman are a little different. You know, people with common sense, you know. Yeah.
Need to open up a history book, because what's going on right now is textbook. It's textbook. And truly it's boring, and it's loser behavior. I have never felt unsafe around a trans person. I have felt unsafe around men. So maybe let's deal with that. If these people that are in charge right now were really the big, strong, manly leaders that they claim to be, they wouldn't be doing things like this. They'd mind their own business, do what they need to do. They would not be doing this. They should be embarrassed. It also just shows how insecure they really are. Also, whenever I post anything political and it blows up whatsoever, I get shadow banned. So there I am again because I made fun of Elon Musk. How fragile must you be? How fragile? Anyways, protect trans kids, protect trans people.
Yeah. Yep. They can't tell us what a woman is. They can't tell us what a man is. Yeah, the Democrat Party in a nutshell. Liberals in a nutshell right there. And they're just melting down everywhere, every single day, you know. Her dad comes out and humiliate himself, you know. And then he has to come out and apologize. Tesla employs thousands of Americans, and Tim Walz is cheering for it to go bankrupt so they can lose their jobs. We've seen Democrats sell their Teslas and buy gas-guzzling four-wheel drive vehicles. Trump has destroyed the Democratic Party. But I really love how this blew up, and then bam, 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 blow it up, Tampon Timmy, stolen valid Tim, you coward. You know?
You're a criminal. I think, go back to point one. When you set a car on fire, you should go to jail. You're a criminal.
Any car,
I don't think we have to
actually.
talk
Yeah,
about it
not
in any
just
other
Tesla.
context and all those cars have cameras in them, and those dealerships have cameras, you're beyond being stupid when you do that. You're going to go to jail, and you now have a government that just got their mandate. They can't wait to find idiots that do this. You're going to spend 5 to 20 years in prison. If they get them on terrorism, which I think is a stretch, they will have no parole, no shortened sentence. They'll rot in hell in prison for 20 years. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, that's okay. Breaking in, shooting a car, setting on fire, nothing to do with the politics, nothing to do with Tesla. You are a criminal, and you should go
what about the broader
to
question
jail.
about the protest factor? I mean, you heard
What
Tim Walz.
protest? You're a criminal.
I'm talking about Tim Walz and his comments about the Tesla stock. He says it gives him a boost to see that stock going down.
That poor guy didn't check his portfolio and his own pension plan for state. It's beyond stupid what he did. He's talking down a 3.5% weighting in his own pension plan. I mean, what's the matter with that guy? He doesn't check the well-being of his own constituents in his state.
I mean,
that's their investment fund.
Point,
what a bozo!
What a bozo! But again, this is the Democrat Party, man. Deranged, out of touch, hateful. They can't think straight. You know, can't tell us what a woman is. You know, disrespectful. You know, and these are the results. And they have to come out time and time again, retract their words, apologize. I'm sorry. You know, what does he say? I was a knucklehead. I was a knucklehead. The knucklehead, you know. Time and time after again, man. They make a fool of themselves. It never fails. And now he has to come out and apologize, man. And people are just laughing at this clown, you know. And they laugh at his kids, his wife, you know. They break the internet. She broke the internet. Speaking to voters like they're children. Y'all listen up. Repeat after me. We're gonna turn the page. No, Mr. Trump. No, Mr. Vance. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember this past election was a cringe show. People were cringed up like, ugh. They're really talking to voters like little kids. They got people twerking at the rally, free concerts at a presidential rally, free concerts. And then after the concert is over, everybody walk out. People are pissed when Beyonce didn't perform. People getting paid millions of dollars. The Oprah Winfrey's. Just the Democrat Party has been a complete embarrassment. A complete scam. Bunch of frauds and fakes, man. And I'm glad that everybody's posting on this crap now. You know. I am glad. You know. It's an absolute disgrace, man. Why they do? AB is something else, man. Oh man.
Walz.
And that's what Trump said, man. Yeah, he's a loser. He lost an election. Usually the VP doesn't play a part, but Tim played a part. And he is at the bottom of the group.
Tim Walz is now saying about Trump supporters, and forgive me, I'm just reading a quote from Tim Walz. I think I could kick most of their ass.
Oh boy, he'd be in trouble.
Is there any way to know?
That was so funny. Yeah, he'd be in trouble. Yeah, you don't want to challenge the MAGA. You don't want to challenge a lot of Trump supporters. I'll tell you that. Yeah, we will make an example out of you. Yeah, them Trumpers, man. And they some hard hitters. I know a lot of them. A lot of them are part of the family on the channel. And they don't F around. You F around, you going to find out.
He lost an election. He played a part. You know, usually a vice president doesn't play a part, they say. I think Tim played a part. I think he was so bad that he hurt her. But she hurt herself, and Joe hurt them both. They didn't have a great group, but I would probably put him at the bottom of the group.
Yeah. Well, we got a little calm down right now. Things are calming down. We've seen a little more cases of Tesla vandalism right now, but it's calming down. It's getting lower. And again, Trump and Elon Musk just broke the internet a couple hours ago at the NCAA Wrestling Championship. And again, the people's president, man. People spoke loud and clear, you know. And as much as these people want things to burn, crash, and fail, just wait. We're going to keep winning. You know, we are going to keep winning. As simple as that, man. Simple as that. You know. But let me know what y'all think of everything, man. I love you guys. You know, I'm wishing the best in all you guys' life, man. You know, but there's still people losing their mind, activists. Again, the cases are not too high, but we'll see what this week brings. You know, we're starting off on a new week. You know, but the radical left protesters, you know, are still out there, man. You know, this guy drove up to a Tesla, keyed it, and drove away in California. We're seeing a lot of these cases in California. So right now, majority of these cases are coming out of California. We're seeing a lot of cases in California, man. You know, dealerships on fire. You know, look at this woman here. Look how pathetic this woman is, man. Just look. Look how pathetic these people are. Not knowing that Teslas, and I seen some of you guys in the comment section in our last video saying, Rick, what is Sentry mode? Sentry, and I've owned Tesla for 5 years, still love Tesla. You know, we plan on buying also another one in the future. And I tell anybody, it's an amazing vehicle. If you want to get one, do your research on it. The used market is also beautiful for a lot of people. If you can afford, you can find your very good deal in the used market. But Sentry mode, as you can see on the screen, it catches everything, detects everything. When somebody touches your car, around your car, they're in the area. The Tesla is always recording, but I tell people, make sure that your Sentry mode is always on. It does burn a little bit of the battery. It does burn a little bit of the battery, like probably a couple percent, but as long as that's on, you're fully covered. It records inside the cabin, outside the cabin, on the right side, left side, front of the car, back of the car. It records everything. So people get caught, their license plates get caught, they're identified, you know, and the camera catches you in mid-act. And most of the footage that you guys are seeing on the internet with all these people that are doing that are these domestic terrorists, you know, that are vandalizing these Teslas. This is all coming from the Tesla footage. Tesla has some of the best security cameras, the best technology, you know, and a lot of you guys on the channel, a lot of you have Teslas and have said the same thing in the comment section, you know, but make sure that you have your Sentry mode on, and if you need, and then have the USB plugs in easily, and you format it and everything's good to go. You know, you can easily look up YouTube videos, and again, I will pay for your USB on Amazon. They're like $5 or $10. You know, shoot me a DM. I will pay for your USB if you have a Tesla. Make sure your Sentry mode is fully activated so you can catch these pathetic people. But over here in Texas, we haven't seen a lot of these situations happen. And over here where I live, you know, there's not any protest or anybody doing anything weird like that. Again, they say, Rick, you're in a red state. You know, but yeah, a lot of these people have lost their minds, man. You know, but people are getting arrested, as you can see. Getting arrested for keying a Tesla Cybertruck. This guy right here was made an example out of.
Yeah.
And we've been seeing a lot of people get held accountable and get arrested this past week. We're seeing it again to go down. The situations are calming down, but the radical left is still out there, man. These leftists, they have lost their mind, man. But we do have good things happening as well. People standing out front of Tesla dealerships thanking Elon Musk and SpaceX. Again, but here it is. People are getting arrested. Look, and then when they get confronted or when they get caught, they time to be held accountable. This is their face. Pathetic. Pathetic people are living amongst us, man. People are spitting on Teslas. Look, disgusting. This guy takes his hand and wipes his butt. I'm not even gonna show it. I might have to scroll. But wipes his hand after digging in his butt on a Tesla. You know, people are keying them. It's crazy, man. And this one happened in Wichita, Kansas. I played football in Kansas, and I love going to Wichita. So, man, this guy looks like he's from Wichita too. Yeah, man. Look, gets out of his car, pathetic, man. to damage somebody's property that they worked hard for and bust their butt for. People are pathetic, man. You know. But Tim Walz choking on his Mountain Dew has to backpedal and say sorry about his sick comment about Tesla, claims it was a joke, and accuses Republicans in MAGA of having no sense of humor. Once again, you know. Here it is, once again, and then we'll end the show off.
It is not.
We possibly do about Elon Musk, because it's not right.
It is not right. And this guy bugs me in a way that is probably unhealthy. And
Elon Musk bugs him, so he's unhealthy.
But I have to be careful about being a smartass. I was making a joke. These people have no sense of humor. They are the most literal people.
Yeah. We have no sense of humor. You just can't make it up, man. And what the hell is it? If you call this a car a Tesla, you're a big... Trans Hondas are Hondas. People have took off the Tesla logo and put a Honda logo on the vehicle. Man, people are so pathetic, man. I'm telling you, we're living around some deranged individuals, man. It is sad. I bought this to support Elon, you know, and I see a lot of you guys in the comments saying, Rick, if I can afford it, I would buy me a Cybertruck, or I'll get me a Model 3. We've also seen a tons of people that have went out and bought these cars to support Trump and Elon Musk, and even one of my homies on YouTube, he went out and just bought him one to support Elon Musk. But we've been Tesla owners for 5 years on this channel. I owned my first Tesla when I was 20 years old, man, and y'all know I helped people out. I helped out veterans, people that were struggling, that had to get appointments done. You know, we had to help out at the hospital. We did catering. You know, we've donated, giving back to the homeless, man. I put 100,000 miles on my Tesla in 1 year, man. And we did a lot of running, man. You know, we did a lot of good deeds in that car, man. We did a lot of food delivery. We did a lot of Uber airport trips. You know, again, I was a full-time gig worker at one point a couple years ago, and my Tesla, man, I still regret to this day that I sold that Model 3. Some of y'all see my old photos on my Instagram and my Twitter page or my X page, and they're like, Rick, I love the car, but I sold that bad boy, man. And I hate I did, because I got a terrible resale value, and I miss that car still to this day, man. You know, I love the Model Y, the bigger version, you know, and we're loving these new refresh models, but I miss that old Model 3, man. That old generation that you see on the road. Everybody has them now. The values are just, you can get one for a very good deal, man. You can find a really, really good deal if you do some good research and some good searching. You will definitely come up on a very good deal, you know, and you will be satisfied depending on what you do and what you're going to use the car for. Just do your research again, because these EVs are not for everybody. Tesla is not for everybody. I repeat, Tesla is not for everybody. You know, do your research, you know. But we're going to get up out of here. Tim Walz is an absolute disgrace. Look at his kids, his family. They ought to be ashamed of themselves, man. You know. And people are just going to get on here and make fun of them every single time they post this woke, liberal, these delusional rants, man. You know, people spoke loud and clear. You know, your daddy lost. You know, they lost in a landslide with that drunk lady laughing there everywhere she goes. Nothing was funny.
Vote.
You know, you all have spit on the people. You want people to pay more in taxes. You want people to, to suffer, struggle. You send our money over here, these ridiculous programs. You want to fund the war. I bet you that lady would have laughed and gave that man another check to Zelensky. He would have got another check that day. But we put our foot down over here. We're done. Peace through strength. Common sense. An actual border czar. An actual border. People actually getting vetted. You know, people can't just skip the line and just come on in. Criminals are actually being arrested. Finally, we actually know what a criminal is. We know what a man and a woman is. Two genders. Common sense things. That's what it comes down to, man. But I love you guys. I know I can talk for days. I can talk a whole storm up. I'm so sorry. But hope y'all have an amazing rest of your weekend, an amazing rest of your day. I love y'all. I will catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace and love, family.